When the administration of Boston Mayor Michelle Wu confirmed that they sent a list of aggressive hecklers to Boston police, critics compared it to President Nixon's infamous enemies list. But is that criticism warranted? WBZ's John Keller puts that claim to the truth test.
Shame on Wu! Shame on Wu!
From disrupted mayoral events
What the politicians want is numbers.
to altercations inside City Hall, it's been a tough environment for Mayor Wu and the security detail that protects her, with some of the same people involved in the incidents again and again.
Yelling at my family outside our home for months, following my kids and me as I walked them to school, committing violence against the police officers who are on our detail team.
So after especially intense harassment of the mayor during last year's Dorchester Day Parade, a Wu aide forwarded a list of frequent harassers to police. Was this inappropriate or unusual, as Wu's critics charge?
This happens all the time.
Bill Forey of the Dorchester Reporter witnessed the parade and wrote a scathing editorial denouncing the trolls.
The mayor's security team has a job to do, and that is to protect her and her family. They're well within their rights, I think, to do this.
And what about the claim that the list is akin to President Richard Nixon's infamous enemies list back in the 1970s?
I certainly wasn't around then and have no sense that there's any political relevancy.
She's right, there isn't.
The whole attempt to classify this as Nixonian, that comes with all sorts of connotation about, persecuting your political enemies, of auditing their taxes, or, essentially making them an enemy of the state.
Perhaps the suspect in the recent modern pastry shooting in the North End, who's on the list, will now claim to be a victim of Nixonian persecution.
And John, it's interesting, social media is jet fuel for this kind of thing, these attacks, and we've seen it with politicians on both sides of the aisle. So do you expect this kind of reaction to be more common?
Well, yeah. First of all, there's nothing wrong with the reaction to indicate to your police, to the security detail, where potential threats might be. And the reason it's legit is because there's been too many lines crossed. And that's the thing, in my view, Paula, that social media has done. It has persuaded, but we get that all the time. We'll get some hate email.
Right.
But if someone signs their name and we write back, all of a sudden the tone changes.
Sure.
They're perfectly normal and nice. They just disagreed with you. Somehow, social media, in many cases, helps give people the idea that they can do and say anything without consequence, and that's not true.
And we've seen politicians physically attacked.
Yeah,
John.
But politicians need to be responsive. There's no doubt about that.
John, thank you. Lisa? All right.